in line with McGilchrist's work on the left hemisphere and the right hemisphere. Left hemisphere, I'm not an expert, go to McGilchrist for more, is what's explicit. The right hemisphere is seeing what's implicit in reality. So, for instance, when somebody is using language or using a word, as we spoke about, it's like, what do they mean by that? And to assume that everybody must mean, this is what's really severely wrong with Jordan Peterson's psyche, not to put him down. With him, I wonder if it was his whole career or if it developed later, but eventually his speech patterns display very clearly somebody who has, whatever the word means is his definition, and it's stuck, it's rigid, there's no flexibility, there's no fluidity. Not only does it mean one thing and his definition, what's even scarier with him is that it's almost completely obvious. I can go into details how I know this without details now, that there's no subjective meaning to him. So, for instance, Judaism for me is not like an abstract category. It's not somebody with kippah. It's not somebody with tzitzit. It's not somebody who keeps kosher. Judaism is a way of life that I related to personally in my being for a decade. It doesn't make me right and somebody with less Judaism wrong. It means that I have a more subjective, actual, real ontological relationship to it, right? Now, in order for us to have a common dialogue when we speak about Judaism, we need to have a clarification of what do you mean by Judaism and what do I mean by Judaism? I'm not saying my definition is the definition. That is the problem. When a person thinks their definition and their relationship to a term is the definition, now all of a sudden we have, it's kind of funny, we have what I would call moral absolutism, but wrapped in moral relativism, right? So like people like Peterson, they would all the time be afraid of the idea of moral relativism, which is that people are capable of discerning for themselves what is moral, but unconsciously, whether it was what Jung called complexes, eventually this person who was petrified of moral relativism fell into a pattern of severe moral absolutism, whereas God is a concrete category with no there's no subjective relationship to God. God is this one thing, and it's not the one thing you think it is. It's the one thing he thinks it is, and it's that for everybody.